recording now, and then I will post, like I said, I'll post those links up. If there's any problem with the Google Drive sharing, then I will be posting them on YouTube in my same channel that I have all the other videos, which is the CMPS101401 21.2. I'll be posting them there, and I'll also be sharing the same link in the same place right in here, where the looks like I'm in the right spot. Yeah, in the right in here is where I'll be sharing the recording. So it won't be down in this section, it'll be up here. You'll see it where I will edit it, and it will clearly state the date and the share. All right, any questions on that? All right. The only thing I noticed when I practiced yesterday with this is that it does slow down my computer a little bit because I'm using two different like basically highly intensive processes at the same time. I'm using a software that's recording everything on my screen, and I'm using a meeting software which I'm also presenting. So it may slow down my computer a little bit. So you can see my screen now. Anyone? Okay, thank you. Perfect. All right, good. So first thing I want to remind you about is the use of the university emails. I know there was one person, I believe it was Ms. Santiago, that just came in a few moments ago that I had to let into the system. Please be reminded that as of next week, I will no longer admit anyone who does not use the University of Belize email address to access this class under any circumstances, right? This is for the security of the UB system and for everyone that's here. So I'm not sure why, but this is a second semester course. Everybody should have a UB email from last August. So if you're not using it, you need to use it, or you're not going to be able to access anything that comes with this class when it comes to the recordings or when it comes to the live consultation sessions. That goes for everyone. All right. So if you're having a problem with your email, you need to make sure that you send me an email, and I will tell you where you can go to get help. Okay. So the next thing would be is forum number 1. I want to go through what the expectations are for that and what's required. There is a video that's already posted on Moodle for it, and we've already discussed it a little bit last week, and it's in the course outline. And last week's session I already discussed this entire thing, but I noticed that when I'm grading it so far this week, I've graded, as of yesterday morning, I had graded every one that was done. Now, I believe it was actually Tuesday morning, so I haven't graded too many the last 2 days, but I'll be going back in there this afternoon and this evening, trying to get caught up so that I don't fall behind, since I do have 140 of them to read and to grade. And then anyone who does not get 100 is getting a private reply from me with where you lost the points from. Remember that there's 3 areas where you'll get points for the forum. The first being the content, which means that you completely answer all of the questions that are posted here, completely and thoroughly. And the next one would be a reference, which you do not need an external reference for this, since you're talking about your own personal experiences. So these are things that are within you. Therefore, you do not need an external reference. So by default, you will automatically get the 1/3 of the points, which is 33 1/3 of the points you automatically get for free on this forum and this forum alone. The rest of them all have a requirement of an external reference, at least one. So the last part is the contents with the format, right? So it's important that you have the spelling, the grammar, and so forth completely accurate, right? So make sure that you proofread, that you have somebody else proofread, you use Grammarly, you spell check, whatever you have to do, it's important that you do so. So the first forum says that you will post on your background where you will introduce yourself and to your peers and your lecturer. You will start with your name, a short biography of where you live, your schools attended, your degree program, which is like associates in biology, associates in primary ed, associates in business, whatever program you're taking, bachelor's in bio, whatever program you're taking. You should always use complete words. Try to avoid using any type of acronyms or abbreviations. Spell everything out, especially if it's the first time that you're referencing it. Highlight your computer technology experience. What have you done on computers? What is your knowledge of computers so far? And what you hope to gain from this course. Remember that you have to have 3 paragraphs. Each one should be 3 to 5 sentences each, minimum. Now, the goal here is not for you to sit there and say, okay, sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, I'm done. Please remember that those 3 paragraphs also pertain to, did you completely answer the question? So that means you wouldn't like open up a topic and then just stop dead short in the middle of it. You would want to make sure that you complete your thought as well. The 3 to 5 paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences is just a guideline to let you know what the minimum is. But remember, minimum means minimum. So minimum passing grade is a 70. If you only give me a minimum input, you can only get a 70. So you need to basically try to invest some time in these forums. As I said, there's only one post that you have to do. You are asked not to do any replies whatsoever. Once it is graded, it is final, right? So the thing is that when you do your forum post, my suggestion last week and again this week is to do it in Microsoft Word. Go in and type out your 3 paragraphs, answer the questions, including the last one there where it says acknowledge that you have downloaded the course outline to 2 of your own personal storage devices. So you do your 3 paragraphs. After you do so, you go through and you use spelling and grammar check. You use Grammarly, which is a free tool that you can download off the internet that will work with your Microsoft Word. It even works with your forum boxes. So you have to make sure that you have proper punctuation, which means that if you're going to use a full stop like I did here, the full stop is right there after the last character in the sentence. Then there's a space. But a lot of you like to put space, then a full stop, and then have the letter B be right there. That's not how you do punctuation, and I don't believe I should have to tell you that at this point. The same thing here, when you have a comma, the comma goes right after the last letter of the word, and then there's a space after it, not the other way around. But I'm seeing that a lot. Also, when you're using words, be careful to use words that make sense. Somebody told me that they installed the course outline to their computer. The course outline is not software. The course outline is a file that you downloaded to your computer. You don't install it to your computer. So be careful of the words that you choose, because it really shows a lack of effort in making sure that you're following through and putting there that makes sense. So like I said, if you're not good with the English language, go ahead and have somebody else who is proofread it before you submit it. So after you're all done with it in Microsoft Word, you have everything there. You then copy and paste the text only and put it into the forum submission box. You check it and make sure that your formatting didn't change, and then you post it. Once you add that post, you have 15 minutes to go back and edit it. Typically what happens is especially when we get to the forum 2, is that people will post their forum, and when they copy and paste it, they forget to put a paragraph. Maybe they have a long post and they copy the short amount of it, or maybe they forget to put the reference from the bottom and copy that into it. If that's the case, then you have that 15 minutes to edit it. Once that's passed, it's now permanent. So now I will grade these posts typically a couple of times a week. So if I grade it and I give you feedback, that is not intended, like for example, if I tell you you didn't capitalize Microsoft Word, you didn't capitalize San Pedro Columbia High Primary School, you didn't capitalize some other proper noun, Microsoft Office, you didn't capitalize the O in office. If I tell you that, I'm not telling you that so that you can now go back in and repost a new one and have me grade another one. That's not the idea. What I'm trying to do is 2 things. Give you feedback in a timely fashion, because if I wait until the 4 weeks are over, then I will have to read and grade 140 forums in 10 days, and it'll be difficult with other things that are starting to come in. So I try to grade them, because one of the few things that I could do is grade them as they come in. So that's giving you the feedback. Now you are supposed to take that feedback and use it for your next forum. Remember that if you look at the grade sheet that I have posted here, forums are worth 2.5% of your grade. So if you get a 50 on a forum, then basically what you're getting towards your total grade for the course is 1.25 points. If you get 100, you're getting 2.5 points. So just realize that you could actually get a 50 on every forum, and you will get 5 points out of 10 for your forums, which means that you could still get a 95, which is an A in the course. Now, I'm not telling you that the forums don't count, so therefore don't do them. Exactly the opposite. What I'm telling you is that they count. You should do them because you're going to need the points, especially when it comes to the higher point items such as the assignment and the project. But don't stress yourself out and say you got a 90 on a forum. You only lost like 0.2 points. So that means you got a 99.8 for the course. So don't stress yourself out so much on them. You have to really remember that you want to do them. The same thing goes for the quizzes, but the area of focus for you needs to be making sure that you maximize your score in this area here with the assignments and with the project. Because if you get a 50 on an assignment, now you only get 7.5 points out of 15, right? And that's why it's important to watch the sessions, to watch the videos, to complete all of the exercises so that you maximize what you get on the assignment. What happens a lot of times is people will just attempt the assignment, not watch any of the recordings, not complete any of the tutorials, not even watch the video about the assignment, and do it how they think it should be done. Then they get a 60 or even a 30 on the assignment. And then they say, well, I didn't understand that I was supposed to do it that way. Now, whose fault is that? If you have the live session, you have the recorded session, you have the recorded video for the walkthrough for the assignment, everything there for you, it's important that you take advantage of it because that's the only way you're going to maximize your point. And I know some of you say, sir, you said this last week. I'm going to say it every week because obviously there's going to be about 20% of you that are not going to listen to me, and that's going to cost you a passing grade in this course. And then you get to listen to me do it again next year, right? So it's important that you follow through on these. So the forum, please make sure that you have your post done and posted. There is no extension on this date for any reason. So February 13th, 11:59 p.m., you have 4 weeks in total, right? So you still have 3 weeks left to do this. So it's important that you make sure that you do that. And then next week, you will have your first quiz will open. I'm going to show you that in Moodle right now. Before I do that, I want to see if there's any questions on forum number 1. Does anybody have a question on forum number 1 on how it will be graded, what's expected of you? Anything on forum number 1? All right, I guess that means I did a good job explaining it. So I'm going to show you my screen for Moodle now. So let's take a quick look at that. So week 1, that's in the books. Remember, if you were not here last week, everything you need for week 1 here is the welcome video. You need to watch it. The course outline video, you need to watch it. The Forum 1 explain video, you need to watch it. Nothing here is a waste of time. Everything here is for you, and you need to watch it to make sure that you get the most out of the course. Moodle walkthrough video needs to be watched, and the quiz and assignment assistance, that will take you to this page here, and then this page you can go through, and anything you have a question on for any of your quizzes, even any of your assignments, you have Excel, you have Word, you have Access, you have PowerPoint. Everything is there for an additional external source for you for free. You don't need to buy no textbook, so everything is there for you as an additional source. Also, if you were not here last week, remember that your course outline is right here. That was updated with the newest sections, and then also your academic calendar, which is important that you go through and look at the dates that are key for everything to do with the course when it comes to finance, when it comes to when you could drop a class, when you could add a class, when you can withdraw from a class with 50% refund, 25% refund, when you need to put a change of program in, when you need to file for completion. All of that is in your academic calendar. That's important. Then student resources are for those of you that have issues with using Moodle or using student email. You go into this area here, and that will give you an assistance, right? So let me scroll down to week number 2 where we are right now. In week number 2, there's nothing new assigned to you. There's nothing new that is due. You still have your forum. And now what you also have here, because remember in forum number 2, I've inserted this here so that you have it ahead of time. APA sample and citing references in a forum step by step. Now, both of these are important. Anything that you see that's a file, you should always download to your computer. And remember, I also put a link here for all of the videos that are available in YouTube right here, right? So you can go right to the playlist. You should always subscribe to it, so as I put new videos up, you will be able to get them. I have almost every video up. I believe every video is up that's currently there for the entire course. So you have them there already to access. Now, I already have made week 3 was already available because I keep it 3 weeks at a time, and now I have week 4. So for week 3, you have looking at computer and understanding the parts. So you will use this and you will use this website, both of them, to complete that quiz. So you have information about computer basics right here, and then you have your other computer hardware PowerPoint there, and then the quiz is right here, right? Remember that this quiz will open up Monday morning at 12 a.m. and it will close Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Again, I recommend that you take the first attempt before Wednesday. If you get 100, you do not need to take it again. If you get a 60 and you take it a second time and you get a 90, your grade will be 90, right? If you have technical difficulties, that is why the second attempt is there. If you do not, the second attempt can be used just because you want to get a better grade. But if you're happy with the grade that you got, you do not need to take it again. There are no extensions on quizzes for any circumstances. They close on Sunday nights. And Monday morning, that quiz is now available for you to access all of the answers and see where you made a mistake. The assignment number 1 is right here. That is the word walkthrough. And assignment, the word lessons are here that you should be going through. So this will take you through the assignment. This is the practice in the tutorial, basically the teaching sessions that you will kind of go through, self-discipline, going through all of the practice sessions and exercises in there to be able to complete the word assignment. And here is the actual assignment here, which we will discuss next week. Under week 4, you will notice that there's another quiz, which is quiz number 2, and that has to do with application software and system software. And again, you could use the GFLC website, which will go through software for you as well. You have the Word 2016 Lessons Part 2. You need to complete all of those. And then a next exercise, which gives you tips and tricks for Microsoft Word 2016. So where we are for right now for this course is that we have this week, you're supposed to be working on the forum. You have access to the assignment already. What I would suggest is that before next week's class that you review that assignment walkthrough video. You download the assignment, you start looking through the instructions, and then next week I will have when I do my consultation session, I will be reviewing the expectations and the rubric for the assignment line by line. This way, if you have any questions, you can ask them during that point. And then if someone is unable to make it, you could always go back and watch that video in addition. Remember, if you're going to email me with a question about the assignment, what you need to do is make sure that you email me from your student email. You put your section number, your course name, and your student ID number and your name in the email, and then copy and paste the instruction from the instruction document into the email question. And then when you do that, you're going to tell me what you think it means or where is the confusion so I can clarify it for you. Please just don't send me an email saying, blanket, I don't understand the assignment, sir. I know there's got to be pieces that you understand and there's pieces that you don't understand. I can assist you if you give me the one part that you're having questions with. If you have multiple parts, then you list them out, and I will take the time to respond to each one as quickly as I can. Then in week 4, we will go through the project details. Let me check. I think I heard a hand be up. 1 second here. Yes, Kia, go ahead and ask your question. No. I may show you this slide again here. Let me go back to here. I went through the course outline last week and went through what is graded and what is not graded, or what is graded and what we have. If you look at this, if you can see this slide here, you have 4 forums. Each one is worth 2.5%. That is 10% of your grade. You have 2 assignments. Each one is worth 15% of your grade. That's 30%. You have 10 quizzes. Each one is 3%. That's 30% of your grade. And you have your final assessment, which is your project, which is 30%. That all adds up to 100%. Absolutely nothing else that you submit for this course or complete for this course outside of this will be graded. There is no extra work. There is no extra. There is no redos. There's no makeup work. There's no, I got a bad grade, I want to redo this now. If you miss quiz 3, you get a 0. There's no additional quiz provided later. There's no makeup for missing quiz 3. If you don't do a forum, the grade goes down as a 0. If you don't submit an assignment before the late period extension is up, that goes down as a 0. So it's important that everything that's graded that you do. Now, the word practical, the word tutorials and the exercises that you mentioned, those are there for you to be able to excel at your assignment, your forums, and your quizzes. If you choose not to do them, I can tell you that directly they will affect your grade, right? So a lot of students will say, oh, well, sir never showed us this. Remember, this is an asynchronous class. These sessions are designed to be consultation sessions just like we're having. They're not designed for me to sit down and say, here's how you do a page number. Here's how you put in a table of contents. Here's how you create a table. That's not what I do in these sessions. All of that is already on Moodle. You need to go through them and practice the exercises, okay? So hopefully everybody's clear on that. That clear? You're welcome. All right, let me look at the course outline real quickly again. So remember, if you don't have the course outline downloaded already, I'm not sure why not, but you want to make sure that you have that because this is what we're following. So right now we're in week 2, and as you can see, there is nothing, absolutely nothing due here, right? So in week 3 here now, you are supposed to be doing the quiz, the hardware quiz. It has here the date that it opened and the dates that it closes. You have assignment number 1 will be officially assigned. But remember, you already have access to this. So you're getting more than 4 weeks. You're getting 6 weeks to be able to complete this assignment. So it's due Sunday, February 28th. If you do not submit it by that time, it will be locked and you will have to submit it through email with an excuse, right? Not something that I forgot it was due, but the fact that you had something that prevented you from submitting it on time. If the excuse is valid, you submit it and I will grade it and I will take off 10 points for being late. Remember that this is a Microsoft Word assignment, all right? So I want everybody to be clear. If you submit a PDF file, you will get a 0. And then if you go back and submit the correct file after the due date, you will get 10 points off, right? Because this is not a PDF unit. This is not a PDF class. We have 2 applications that we work with for the assignments, Word and Excel. If you submit me a PDF, I cannot grade it because many of the elements that are in the assignment, I have to be able to look at the formatting of the document. I cannot do that once you submit it as a PDF. So please remember, any PDF submitted as assignments for any element of this course will get a 0, all right? And then if you do not submit it at any point, that 0 will stay. If you submit it after the due date, because what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to go in and look and check before the due date who submitted PDFs and who didn't. What will happen is that as I am grading each section, and I have 4 sections, which is 140 students, to grade them within 10 days. So what I will be doing is as I grade each one, as I come across a person who I download them all at the same time. So when I go to the folders, all I see is a folder. I open it, I grade it, I upload it back to the document, or I'll be using, I believe there's a rubric that I'll be grading it within there. But once I do that, if I get to someone and they have a PDF file, I just go down the line 00000, submitted wrong file, go next. Now you will automatically get a notification anytime anything is graded from the class. So now you will have to check your email and see that you got a notification from Moodle that something was graded. Now if you realize, oh, shucks, I did the wrong thing, you would have to resubmit that. But if it's past the 7-day deadline, I'm not going to take it, right? So that's why it's important that you go back and look, right? So this is where it's important that a lot of people ask the question. Some people don't ask the question, but when I tell people certain things, they don't seem to adhere to to what's expected. So it's just like the file due date. We have the file due date on the actual assignment itself. It's in the course outline. Then if you go to Moodle on your dashboard, all of the due dates are right there for all of your assignments, right on the calendar at the bottom on the right. And then we have these sessions. So 4 different times you're told what to do. And then someone will send me an email the day after and say, oh, sir, was that, when is this due? And I don't understand how come that happens, because there's no reason for anyone to be late for any assignment, because you have so many reminders of when things are due. And at the same time, you also have access to things far in advance. So you can see we'll be following this exactly. And then you can always check and see that. See Forum 4. Forum 1 will close in week 4, and Quiz 2 will open in week 4 as well. And that is when we will review the project. The only other item I had for you today is when we review the project in week 4, I want you all to keep in the back of your mind one thing. The project is going to be, basically, you're going to be doing a business proposal. So I want you all to start thinking about what type of business that you would want to basically create and propose. So that means that you would have to think about, do I want to open a restaurant? Is it going to be a breakfast restaurant? Is it going to be a gas station? Is it going to be a taxi service? Is it going to be a nail salon? Is it going to be dog grooming? What type of business? So keep that in the back of your mind. And when we get to week 4, I'll explain the project in detail, and then you'll have a submission that you'll have to make that will not be graded, but you'll see it in the course outline. Somebody had their hand up, or did somebody come in? Somebody have a question? Okay, I've covered everything that I needed to cover for today. Are there any questions on anything that I covered or did not cover for today? Yeah, let me go back here again and show you what's in here. So if you look at week number 3, right? This here, it has the assignment here, right? And it has the assignment walkthrough here. This is a video that explains the assignment from start to finish. Then here, when you click on the assignment, you have 2 files here. This file is an instruction assignment, which takes you through what to do. Step 1, open the file. Step 2, make this change. Step 3, make this change. Then at the end, it has a rubric and tells you how much each change is worth, right? This file here is the file that you're going to alter. So when you are done, you are going to submit a file called Your Name Newsletter as a Word document, and you're going to create a new file from scratch called Your Name Invoice as a Word template. Both files should be submitted, right? And now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves as far as for the assignment, because I'm going to discuss that next week. But if you watch the video, all of that would be explained, right? So right now, this week is a light week. So my suggestion to you is that you should be watching these things that are available, right? There is enough available to keep you busy. And like I said, you should be spending about 3 to 5 hours per week per course. So you should be, I didn't give you that much information in the first week that you shouldn't have already gone to the second week and to the third week to access a lot of this information and watch these videos, made notes, and then decided if you had any questions. Again, next week, even though I have this video here, I'm going to do it again live. And I think I do it for redundancy, because I figure the more times you hear it, the better chance I have of getting through to all of you. Some of you may decide that because you watch this, you're not going to attend the session. Some of you may say, well, since he's going to cover it anyway, why watch this? Well, that's up to you. But the bottom line is, I'm going to give you everything that I can to make you successful. If you choose not to do it, well, then remember, you own your grade. That grade is not my grade, that's your grade. Whatever you put in is what you get out, right? So you can't put in straw and expect to get out gold, right? So it's all up to you. So please remember that. So your answer to your question is yes. Everything that's expected of you on every assignment will be clearly given to you in writing, in oral, in recorded video, in live video, and you also have the ability to ask questions. So why someone would not get 100? That's a question that's kind of like the meaning of life. I don't know why. So, any other questions? Okay. Anybody else? All right. I'm going to stop presenting. And then obviously, since the recording feature is no longer there, I don't have to stop the recording. But I'm going to stop it on my software here.